All those who have joined, I would just like to let you know that we'll begin in a few minutes. We'll just wait for a few more people to join, and then we'll begin in 2-3 minutes at max. So while others are still getting admitted, all those who are already here, how about you tell us in chat if you are expecting mom, how far along are you in your pregnancy? Let us know in the chat. Let's just see what's the dynamic of the group today. 34 weeks, 36 weeks. Some of us are very soon going to be parents. So, a very relevant to us discussion that is about to happen for all you guys. People are still joining in. We have people in the waiting room. So, let's wait just 1 more minute and then we'll begin with our first session. Myra, should we begin? Yeah. So, hi everyone, a very warm welcome to the 18th edition of the Bump Celebrations. I'm Shalu Sharma, your host for the day. I'm a mother myself, and my kids, my twins, are almost 12 years old now. So, I've been through the phase that you are currently in more than a decade back. But I think whether it's a decade or 10 decades, things don't usually change. The emotions, the feelings, the questions, they all remain the same. So, to all the moms to be, dads to be, new parents, those who have joined us today, a huge welcome to all of you. If you're expecting right now, the chances are you are experiencing this beautiful combination of excitement, anticipation, and 1000 questions that would come to your mind every day. Like, I have been through it, so I know it. Questions like, what I should be eating, what I should pack in my hospital bag, what would the first few days look like for my baby or for me? Will this work for me? And the biggest question we all keep asking, that is, what's happening to me normal? Is this happen? Like, does this happen to everyone? And the biggest question of all is that, am I ready for this? And by this, I mean the journey of birth giving as well as parenting, because it's not a one time event. Once you become a parent, it's a long journey. So, the biggest question we keep asking ourselves is, are we ready for this? So today, all of us from Team SuperBottoms and all the experts associated with us, we are here today to help you feel a little more ready for your journey, the journey of childbirth and parenting. We have got some incredible experts today with a lot of practical advices. A lot of your questions will be answered today in the Q&A. We also have some fun games, a mega giveaway, and most importantly, we bring you a big community of parents who are in this journey with you. Like right now, I see almost 70 people are here with us in this session live. And then in our WhatsApp community in Parent Tribe, we have hundreds of people who are there experiencing the same questions, same doubts, and same excitement as you all are. So we all are here as a village together to go through this journey. Now, before we start the first session of the day, I want all of you to tell me in the chat that, like, who is attending this session? Are you a mother to be? Are you a dad to be? Are you already a parent, a new parent? Or are you a family member or a support person here to support somebody in your family or friend circle who's pregnant? So let us know in chat right now who's attending this session. I see a lot of moms to be. Oh, I also see a dad to be. Prashant is here. Yazini is a new mother. Oh, both parents are also attending. Mom to be, mom to be. Most of them are mom to be. I would also want to know right now, before we begin this session, what is the biggest feeling you're feeling right now? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling nervous? Are you curious about what all you're going to learn today? Are you a little overwhelmed? Let us know in the comment. What is your feeling? Excited, nervous, overwhelmed, excited, all three. Ali is feeling all three, mixed, curious, excited, curious. Right. So that's parenting and childbirth in a nutshell. It's a bomb of all the emotions which is waiting to explode and will keep exploding in small events for you. But it's also one of the happiest bombs that you'll ever experience. uh, Before we begin the session, we are floating an attendance form. Now it is important for all of you to fill this form at end of every session, because the winners of mega giveaway will be chosen from this form. Only if you are attending all the sessions, you'll become eligible for our mega giveaway. So in the chat, you'll find the attendance form. Please take 1 minute and fill this form. We'll also be sharing the link for our WhatsApp community, which is the Bump WhatsApp group, and you'll find a lot of people who are on the same stage as you. This is specifically the Bump group, which is for expecting parents and new parents. So a lot of people who are on the same journey as you will be there. So let's take 1 minute, fill the attendance form, and join the WhatsApp group. We'll keep floating these links time and again so that if somebody is joining a little late, they also do not miss out on it. But make sure that you fill these too. And we'll begin in 30 seconds. Let's take 30 seconds to fill it, and then we'll start the first session of the day, which I'm very excited about. All right, I think it's time for us to begin the bump celebrations. So, our first session for the day is the first 10 days and what every new mom should know. For a new mother, what is happening is sometimes so overwhelming that things go out of her radar. Um, We before we start, I'm going to start a poll, and I want to see the responses, which will help the expert also to understand where we are, so that the session could be accordingly. You'll see a poll on your screen. So the first question is, what are you most curious about when it comes to the first 10 days or first few days about the baby? Breastfeeding, baby sleep, baby's pee and poop, or caring for yourself after delivery? Let's all vote. I see only 60% people have voted till now. I'll urge all of you to share this, because our expert will have a little insight on, what are the topics which are overwhelming you right now. All right. Um, I'll share the results on your screen. So we can see that most people are worried, like 68% of people are overwhelmed, curious, or worried about breastfeeding, followed by baby sleep. Then comes self care of a mother. And the last thing, 7%, is baby's pee and poop. I'll share one more question on your screen, after which we'll start the session. The question is, what feels most overwhelming about the first 10 days? Feeding, understanding the baby's cues, whether it be for feeding or, pee, poop cues, hunger cues, your own recovery, or is it everything? Not just these three, but a lot of other things. Oh, this one was quick. Almost everyone has answered very quickly. Right. So, as you can see on your screen right now, everything. It's very natural for a mother to be, a father to be, or the whole family to be curious and overwhelmed about everything that's going to happen, because it's unknown. At least for the first time parents, it's very they don't know what is going to happen, and that is why everything that comes to their mind overwhelms them. So, we spend so much time preparing for the baby's arrival, but what about the mother's first few days after the delivery? The first 10 days can bring excitement, exhaustion, new routines, change in a lot of schedules, questions related to breastfeeding, and mostly emotional changes, which the whole family goes through. And the question which we started with, that is this normal? What is happening to me? Is it normal, or does it happen to everyone? And that's exactly what we are going to unpack in our first session today. We have with us Dr. Aarti Jairaj from Rao Hospital, a fertility specialist and AIMS gold medalist with expertise in reproductive medical and high risk obstetrics. She's here to help new mothers and new parents understand what to expect the first few days, what to look for, and how to take care of themselves while caring for the newborn as well. Her approach blends scientific excellence with personalized treatment, guided by an empathetic understanding of each couple's unique journey of parenthood. So let's give a huge welcome to Dr. Aarti. Dr. Aarti, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Aarti, consultant at Rao Hospital. I'll talk today about the first 10 days of new mother's life. So, the first 10 days are a period of adjustment for both baby and the mother. It is mostly about breastfeeding. You'll breastfeed on response every 2 to 3 hours, and you should give safe sleep on a separate and firm cot or crib. And you should take care of the cord, and it's about vaccination and knowing when something is not normal. You should be able to identify the danger signs. The baby's head should be covered with a cap, and use socks and mittens for extremities. A rule of thumb is that the baby needs one extra layer of clothing compared to the adult. And the first bath should be after the umbilical cord falls off. You can do sponge bath after 24 hours of birth. You need not bath the baby every day. You can do once in 3 days or alternate days. And always before touching the baby, wash your hands with soap and water. Normally, the parents are concerned, why is my baby losing weight? So it's normal to lose 5 to 10% of birth weight. The birth weight usually will return in 2 weeks. For example, if the baby's weight is 3 kg, they might lose 300 gram in the first 2 weeks. But by the 14th day, they will again regain their birth weight. But if the birth weight loss is more than 10%, then you should seek help. And jaundice is more common around day 2 to day 5. And most of the parents are worried, when will the cord fall? So the cord will fall within 1 to 3 weeks. You should do hair wash once or twice a week in a lukewarm water. The temperature of the bath water should be 37 to 37.5, and the duration of the bath should be 5 to maximum 10 minutes, not more than that. The diaper area should always be clean and dry. To clean the diaper area, you can use moistened cloth or cotton ball soaked in lukewarm water. And you have to change the diapers frequently, every 2 to 3 hours, to prevent diaper dermatitis. And during each change, you can leave the baby without nappy for 5 to 10 minutes. And cloth napkins are preferred. So we'll next talk about the breastfeeding basics. You should start breastfeeding as soon as possible, ideally within 1 hour, and you should give only breast milk for the first 6 months. No water, no honey, or any other food unless medically indicated. You should breastfeed on response every 2 to 3 hours, so it will be around 8 to 12 times per day. After 6 months, along with breastfeeding, you can start complementary feeding or solid food. And you can continue breastfeeding till 2 years or even more, as long as the baby and mother desire. And we keep the baby and mother in same room to promote breastfeeding. This is known as rooming in. The mother and the baby staying in the same room. So what are the early hunger cues? You should be able to find the early hunger cues and feed the baby accordingly on demand. So the early hunger cues are opening the mouth, turning head towards the breast, lip smacking. The baby will bring the hand to the mouth. She'll be increasing her baby movements. You should not wait for the crying because it is a late hunger cue. So how will you breastfeed your child? So it should be a mother's tummy to baby's tummy, and the baby's nose should be directed at the breast, and the head, neck, and the whole body should be supported and in straight line, and the baby should not be turning the neck. So as we all know, this is in the breast, there is a nipple, and the dark area surrounding it is known as the areola. So you will bring the baby's nose opposite the nipple, touch a nipple to the upper lip of the baby. The baby will widely open the mouth. Then you should bring the baby to the breast. So good latch is very important for breastfeeding. The baby's mouth should be wide open. Most of the areola should be covered, and the chin should be against the breast. The baby should be taking the nipple as well as the areola. If the baby is taking only the nipple, it will cause pain, and this is a bad or shallow latch. The breastfeeding should not be persistently painful. If it is painful or baby is losing more than 10% of baby birth weight, then you should ask for help early. You need not struggle for many days, and always watch the baby, not the breast. You should see that the baby is passing adequate urine, passing stools. Is the baby relaxed and satisfied after each feed? How is the weight gain? And you can see the swallowing or even hear the swallowing. So we'll now talk about the nipple care. Only wash your breast when you bath. You need not wash the breast or nipples before each breastfeeding, because the nipple will have a natural moisturizer. And if you wash each time, the moisturizer will get washed away and the nipple will become irritated or sore. And you can air dry your nipple or dab them gently with a towel. If you feel like you're having sore nipples, you can apply your breast milk to the nipple before and after feed. It has healing property. And if you're using nursing pad, you can change it if it becomes wet. So some mothers, they will have inverted nipple. But inverted nipple doesn't mean you cannot breastfeed, because the babies feed from the breast, not from the nipple. So you should keep the baby skin to skin, and before feeding, stimulate the nipple. Yeah, if the breast is very full, you can express to soften the areola, compress the breast, and if you're having any problem with latching, then you can talk to your doctor. So if someone is having sore or cracked nipple, you can use your breast milk, apply it to the nipple and areola part, or use purified lanolin or hydrogel pads. In case if you're using lanolin, use small amount, apply after feeding, and stop if there is any irritation. Then a lot of parents have question about newborn sleep patterns. Newborns sleep a lot, but in short stretches. They sleep around 16 to 17 hours in 24 hours, and the babies can't tell the difference between day and night. So we cannot expect them to have a day-night schedule, and keep the nighttime feed calm and quiet rather than turning it into a playtime. And the baby should sleep on the back, not on the stomach or sideways, and baby should sleep on a firm flat surface in a cot or bassinet in the parents room, but not in the parents bed. The bed should be separate for the mother and separate for the baby, and there should be no pillows, toys, and loose blankets. This is safe sleep, where the baby is sleeping on the back in a separate cot or bassinet, and there are no toys, loose blankets, or pillow. If we keep pillow, toys, and blankets, there is a risk of suffocation. So there should be no loose items. So how many times will the baby urinate and pass stools? This is a very normal question every parents are worried about. So on day one, he or she will have one wet diaper. On day two, there will be two. On day three, there will be three wet diaper. On day four, four or more wet diaper. And from fifth day onwards, at least six wet diapers should be there. And the baby passes meconium, or the first stool, which is sticky green, within 24 to 48 hours of birth. After that, the baby can even pass 7 to 8 times a day, or once in 3 to 5 days also, which is normal. But if the baby doesn't pass stool for more than 5 days, then you have to seek help and talk to your pediatrician. So how will you find out if it is diarrhea or it is normal stools? So there will be change in the frequency. Normal baby will feed well, will be alert. If the baby is refusing feed, then you should talk to your doctor. So crying is a way of communication for a baby. What does it mean when a newborn cries? The baby might be hungry or have a wet diaper. The temperature might be hot or cold. The clothing might be uncomfortable. Or after a feed, the baby might need a burp. And sometimes they cry because they want to be helped. And sometimes there is no reason, or if they have pain or any illness, they can cry. And colic is excessive crying in otherwise healthy and normally weight gain baby, which present more than 3 or more hours a day on several days, and it gradually decreases after 3 to 4 months. So how will you soothe the crying baby? You can hold the baby, talk or sing to them softly, offer the breast. Breast is both for nutrition as well as comfort for the baby. You can take the baby and walk slowly, but don't shake or jerk the baby. Or you can even swaddle with the cotton cloth. So when the baby cries, check for hunger, diaper, comfort the baby, check the temperature and clothing, look if she is tired or overstimulated. You can cuddle, talk, and breastfeed if appropriate. You can rock her and even swaddle her. If you are feeling overwhelmed, you can put the baby safely in a crib and get support from your family. And if the cry is unusual and if the baby is not well, then seek medical help. About newborn vaccination, within 24 hours, they should get BCG, oral polio vaccine, and hepatitis B. Keep the baby's vaccination record and follow the schedule given by your pediatrician. Mild fever and fussiness is normal. After a BCG vaccine, there will be a small papule which will ulcerate and heal on its own. So do not squeeze or apply any ointment to the BCG vaccination site. So, what are the hospital bag essentials? For mother, take your ID, medical records, any investigations done, 2 or 3 front opening cloth, which will help with feeding, nursing bras, maternity pad, and other essential things. For baby, you might need 4 to 6 cotton cloth diaper, cotton towel, muslin cloth, receiving blanket, cap, mitten, socks, baby wipes, and cotton. So, what are the physical changes in the new mother? The mother may experience vaginal bleeding and abdominal cramps can occur, especially during breastfeeding. Because when breastfeeding happens, oxytocin hormone is released. That will also cause uterine contraction, which will cause abdominal pain. And in vaginal birth, they can have perineal discomfort. In cesarean birth, they can have pain at stitch site. Breast fullness can be there, constipation, fatigue, sweating, and abdominal wall laxity can be seen. What are the emotional changes in a new mother? She might cry easily, feel overwhelmed, anxious, self doubt. Am I seeing the baby correctly? Am I doing everything correct for the baby? She might be irritable, worry about the baby, or sometimes even unusually emotional also. This is all normal, but if sadness, anxiety, loss of interest persists for a long time, for more than 2 weeks, if it is severe and interferes with day to day activities, and she has thoughts of harming herself or the baby, she should talk to her doctor. So, how to care for a new mother? She should have regular meals, a balanced diet with whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and protein, plenty of fluids, drink water during and after breastfeeding, around 2.5 to 3 liters of water, because the majority of composition of breast milk is water. Adequate rest whenever possible. What we tell is when the baby sleeps, the mother should also sleep and have adequate pain control. She'll need help with household work and nighttime baby care. And she will also need emotional support and support during breastfeeding. And she should continue her iron and calcium tablets. So, what is baby blues and what is postpartum depression? Baby blues begin 2 to 3 days after birth and it lasts less than 2 weeks. She will be able to take care of self and baby. What she needs is reassurance, rest, and support. But this is different from postpartum depression. The postpartum depression can begin even during pregnancy or any time after birth. And the symptoms will be there for more than 2 weeks, and she will struggle to take care of herself as well as the baby. Postpartum depression needs professional help, counseling, and sometimes medication also. So, baby blues are mild and short lived. Postpartum depression is persistent, or there are severe symptoms affecting her day to day activities. Next, we'll talk about baby massage. Gentle massage with coconut or sunflower oil can be done. It will help with parent baby bonding, help with relaxation and better sleep, improve circulation, will help with weight gain, reduces stress and cortisol level, and the baby will have better developmental outcomes. So, when you should give massage to the baby? When the baby is awake, calm, and alert, preferably after feeding, 1 to 2 hours after feeding in a warm room. And you should not rub the baby vigorously. It should be gentle with firm strokes, and it can last between 15 to 30 minutes. Maternal massage also can be done in postpartum period. This will also help with relaxation, reduces stress, improves her sleep, gives relief from muscle ache, and improves her mood and emotional well-being. So, what are the 7 questions you should ask every day? Is my baby feeding well? Passing urine and stool appropriate for their age? And the baby should be warm but not overheated. Is my baby sleeping safely on her back or becoming excessively yellow? Is she alert enough to feed? And is she breathing comfortably? So, when to seek help? If the baby refuses feed, or the baby suddenly feeds poorly, or difficult to wake her up, and having difficulty in breathing, there is chest indrawing, or having fever or abnormally cold, and having fits or seizure, jaundice in the first 24 hours, or rapidly increasing jaundice, or jaundice is seen in the palm and sole. And if there is vomiting, especially green or bilious vomiting, abdominal distension, and the wet wipes are fewer than expected, then you should seek professional help. And always trust your instinct. Are you feeling that the earlier my baby was good, but now something is off? Then you should seek medical help. So the first 10 days are for healing, feeding, and bonding, not to get your pre pregnancy body back. Eat for recovery and not for dieting. Accept that your sleep will be disrupted. Sleep when the baby sleeps. And you can start gentle walking and pelvic floor exercises early according to your comfort. Walk early, strengthen gradually, and return to heavy exercise only when your body is ready. And the best newborn care is one person looks after the baby and another person looks after the mother. So, the 5 things every parent should remember is feed on demand, usually 8 to 12 times per day. And by day 5, roughly baby will have 6 or more wet wipers, diapers per day. And baby should sleep on her back on a firm cot with separate bed but in same room, and watch for danger signs. And mother matters too, and she also needs a good balanced food, sleep, pain control, and emotional support. Hope you had a good time and you understood about the first 10 days of a new mother's life. Parenting is not a race to perfection, it's a journey of love, understanding, and growth for both the parent as well as the child. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aarti. We have a lot of questions in the chat, but looking at the time, we'll take a few of these questions. And I would encourage all the participants that are here to join the WhatsApp community because a lot of these discussions, expert sessions keep happening there as well. So we'll be answering those questions there as well. So we'll take a few questions. So Hani is asking that how many months uh, should we follow the 2 hour feeding schedule, and after what age should the every 2 hour feeding change?
It's usually on demand every 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. And
Okay.
sometimes the baby keeps on sleeping, so you should not leave more than 4 hours. As the baby grows, the stomach capacity also will increase. So they will sleep for more time, and the interval between two feeds also will increase.
Okay. Then there are a few questions regarding colic that, what is the ideal way to deal with colic? Should we give medicine? What medicine is safe for a child to consume during colic phase?
No, there is no need to give medicine for a colic. You just have to soothe the baby with all the things that we have already discussed. You can just take the hold the baby and keep walking. No need for any medication.
A mother to be is asking how to avoid sore or cracked nipples. What precautions can they take to avoid this painful situation?
Yeah. The first thing is good latch. If the latch is good, the baby will not take only the nipple, the baby will take the nipple along with the breast. But if the baby takes only the nipple, then the baby will pull the nipple and this will lead to cracked nipple. So there should be a good latch. So if there is a good latch and you apply the breast milk, so the chance of having sore nipple is less.
Dr. Aarti, there are a lot of questions regarding sleep schedule of the baby. How long should the baby be sleeping? Should the baby be sleeping with the parents or separately? After what age the child should be independently sleeping? So, can you give a few like top 5 pointers for a baby sleep questions?
Yeah, baby should be in the same room as the parents at least till 6 months. But there should never be cot sharing because sometimes the pillow can fall on the baby, so there can be suffocation. The cot should be separate for the baby and the mother.
And what about this like duration of sleep? When should they start sleeping through the night? What about those concerns?
No, the baby will sleep every 2 to 3 hours and in short stretches. So the baby doesn't know the difference between night and day. So the baby will wake up equally in the night. And night breastfeeding is very important because the hormone prolactin for breastfeeding is secreted in night. So if you decrease your night feeds, your overall milk production will come down. So you have to feed in night as well.
Right. And then there are a few questions around the massaging, like what are the best oils for massaging the baby? Is massage directly related to weight gain or muscle gain in the baby? Till what age should the babies be massaged?
Massage can be done, but it doesn't show. There are studies which have shown that it is not directly related to weight gain. The weight gain is mainly related to the breastfeeding. You should keep the baby warm with adequate amount of protective clothing. And massage will not increase the weight, but it just will help. And it's not like we should do the massage for sure. It's not a recommended part of postpartum, but you can do just as improve the sleep, reduce stress, and for weight gain. It's not like directly related to weight.
Let me check if there are more questions because the questions are still flowing in the chat box. Um, so Minnie is asking that her baby is 4 month old and still doesn't sleep for a stretch yet. So she's concerned about it. Is this something to be worried about?
No, this is not. Each baby is different and their sleep cycle will be different. As they become 3 months, 4 months, then their stretch will not be every 2 to 3 hours. It will the amount of time they sleep will become longer. But it's different for each baby. If the baby is gaining adequate weight and feeding well, then there is nothing to be worried about.
Right. And Dr. Aarti, when you say adequate weight, because I think all parents are always worried about weight, even if the child is on the lower percentile, higher percentile, parents are always worried. So, what advice would you want to give when it comes to being worried about weight of your child?
Yeah. For the first 3 months, baby will gain 30 gram per day. So, and whenever you go to your pediatrician, the first thing they will see is the weight and they will see if there is adequate weight gain. So, it will all be okay if they go to the pediatrician and do a regular checkup for their, if is the baby gaining adequately.
Right. There are so many questions, and I just want to say to the participants that we'll not be able to take all the questions in the Q&A session because we have other sessions also lined up. So, if you have more questions, you can join the WhatsApp group and ask your questions there. We'll try and get as many questions answered as possible. But thank you so much, Dr. Aarti. There was
Yeah.
so much unpacked in this like half an hour session, so many topics covered, and I'm sure it made a lot of minds calmer today that had a lot of questions when the session began. So thank you so much for being with us today
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
answering all
Thank
the
you for the
questions.
opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. To the participants, I would like to remind that if you have not filled the attendance form, please make sure that it's there in the chat box. We'll paste it again in the chat box. Make sure you have filled the form because the winners of the mega giveaway will be announced only using this sheet. We'll be picking up the winners from the attendance sheet. And I would love to see a lot of like thank yous and your positive feedback for Dr. Aarti in the chat. whether you enjoyed the session, what all did you learn. Let us know in your comments in the chat. Right, so before we move on to the second session, let's take a chota sa fun break. So I'm going to ask you a question and we'll play fastest fingers first. So I want all of you to open the chat boxes because the first person to answer the question will be the winner of our fastest finger first. Right? So everyone open the chat box, listen to the question, and I want your answers in the chat box. So the question is, which celebrity dad took a paternity leave after the birth of his daughter Vamika? I will repeat the question. Which celebrity dad took a paternity leave after the birth of his daughter Vamika? Oh my God, 87, 92, 93 comments in 10 seconds. Great. So we will be announcing the winners of the fastest finger first at the end of today's workshop. So please stay tuned. We'll be there with the name of the winners. Now, before we move on to the second session, there is another poll question that I want to ask all of you, and you will be answering on your screens. Right. So, can you all see the question on your screen? Myra, can you see the question on screen? No? Okay. One second, guys. I'm just. Can you see the question now? Okay. So, what's your biggest pregnancy nutrition question? Is it what should I eat? What should I avoid eating? What supplements do I need? Or how much should I eat? When I was expecting, I had all these questions all the time in my head. And even postpartum, when we all struggle with a lot of like weight gain, weight loss, trying to maintain the fat levels, all these questions keep coming to our mind. So we'll take 5 more seconds and then I'll end the poll. Right. So on your screen, you will see that almost all these questions have got more or less around 20 to 30% responses, which means we all keep on thinking about what to eat, what not to eat. I have one more question here, which is on your screens now. What's your biggest pregnancy food struggle? Is it nausea? Is it the cravings, the heartburn, or figuring out what exactly to eat? So we'll take 15-20 seconds. All right, so the answers are on your screen right now. Nausea, heartburn, and figuring out what to eat are the top concerns. Cravings somehow is very less. Like, okay, this is surprising because for me during my pregnancy, cravings were one of the biggest issues. Middle of the night, I would crave for something which was probably unhealthy and I didn't know what to do about it. So there are a lot of things we all struggle with, right? And the next session that we are going to go into now is going to answer a lot of questions when it comes to your nutrition. So the topic for the second session is eat right during pregnancy. Pregnancy nutrition is about trying to eat like what is perfect or eating perfectly. It is about understanding what your baby and your body is going through and it needs, and making food choices that actually work for you and your baby. Our next expert is Sushmita, our nutritionist, who is here to simplify the pregnancy nutrition and answer these questions that are like the million questions which are going through our mind all the time. And you keep wondering about these things. She has expertise in managing and reversing health conditions such as thyroid issues, kidney problems, fatty liver, PCOS, PCOD, and diabetes. She has helped a lot of mothers conceive naturally and helped women with pre pregnancy, post pregnancy, and lactation. So let us be ready with our listening ears as well as the questions. If you have any questions through the session, keep putting them in the chat box. Once Sushmita's session is over, we'll take these questions. Over to you, Sushmita. Thank you.
Hi, how are you? So I've really helped a lot of my clients conceive. A lot of them didn't even like really think of conceiving, like they didn't really expect it. Like I have so many case studies where people have just conceived because like I think that people just offer IVF directly, but there's something called as a preconception window where they can correct a lot of things which are not really focusing on. So I think if you correct that preconception window, it's going to be easier for people to conceive without opting for IVF, which a lot of people don't really pay so much importance to. So yeah, that preconception window is also very important. So in my today's session, I'll cover basically what you should eat during pregnancy, what you should avoid eating, the important supplements you're supposed to consume during pregnancy, first trimester, second trimester, trimester, all of that. So I'm going to cover everything in as much detail as I can in this half an hour session. So stay tuned. And it's a very nice session. Like you'll be enlightened about many things which you didn't even really know of. So yeah, I'm going to help you with that. So I think we can start with the questions then. Okay. So the first question is healthy pregnancy diet. See, a lot of people like when you're pregnant, they think, "Arey, inko khilao, she needs more food," and they just give you random stuff like laddus and this and that. But honestly, they don't have so much importance in your diet. Like, majorly, your diet should primarily focus on protein because proteins are the building blocks of your body, like your hormones, your enzymes, your cells, even structure of the fetus, even raw material for tissue formation, everything is made up of protein. So protein is the most important nutrient when you're pregnant or otherwise also, which a lot of people neglect. And no, dal, rajma, chole is not protein. Protein is your chicken, mutton, fish, cheese, paneer, eggs, curd, whey protein. So all these are first class protein options. And dal and other legumes and pulses are not first class protein sources, so do not rely on them. Carbs are also very important for pregnancy because obviously you need energy. Without carbs, you might not get enough energy. But then people in India overdo carbs. Like they overconsume carbs, thinking, ke, like, they basically demonize protein and they become best friends with carbohydrates, which is like the worst thing to do. Like carbs are important. Yes, they're very important. But then overdoing it is not really required. So yeah, so carb you should never overdo. Like you have to have a certain limit of carbohydrates. We should not overdo carbohydrates. So that also has to be taken into consideration. Even fat. A lot of our households we use sunflower oil, safflower oil, which is so high in inflammation. It has omega-6. And our diet anyway comprises of a lot of omega-6 any which ways. And if you add sunflower oil, safflower oil to it, it's going to increase the inflammation all the more. So the ideal oil for cooking would rather be coconut oil or let's say butter and ghee. Yes, butter, ghee, and coconut oil are the ideal oils you should use for cooking and not your sunflower oil. Please throw it out. See, protein for vegetarians again, I got a question. It is paneer, cheese, whey protein, and curd, Greek yogurt. These are first class protein options. Unfortunately, for vegetarians, there are very few first class protein options, but then you have to manage. Our second question basically. Sorry, I got a call. The second option is nutrients and their importance. Basically, DHA. DHA is very important for the brain, for the retina, for neurons, and coordination. So, DHA is very, very important. So, omega 3 is like a very important source. So, omega 3, obviously, there are some fishes you can't consume because of the high mercury content, but DHA is important. So, I would suggest take a DHA supplement for the same. It basically doesn't contain mercury. I know many brands which are only safe for consumption. So DHA is also very important. Um, and egg yolk is honestly your best friend. Like whatever I'm saying, egg yolk comprises of everything. So egg yolk is a supernatural food during your pregnancy and otherwise also. So do not avoid egg yolks. They're very, very important. Folate. Folate is very, very important to prevent something called as neural tube defects. So folate you should never, never avoid. There's something called as methyl folate. That is a better form of folate which is better absorbed. So try consuming methyl folate than a normal protein supplement. I mean, normal folate supplements present in the market. If you want to go for it naturally, liver, egg yolk, legumes, leafy greens, avocado, oranges contain a good amount of folate as well. But then your pregnancy requirements are little more. So like consuming through natural sources is really impossible. So you rather have a methyl folate supplement that would be ideal for you. Choline. Choline is also very, very important. Choline is present in egg yolks again. It is important for neural tube closure. So your neural tubes get closed because of choline and doesn't cause any complications after that. So egg yolk is one important source. Even your liver, shellfish, sardines, salmon, all these are very important also at the same time. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is a fat soluble vitamin which is important for organ formation. So you need to consume a good amount of vitamin A, get those carrots in. And remember, for getting those carrots in, it has to be converted into an active form of vitamin A. So then you have to really toss your carrots in like oil for the same because you need to convert the inactive form of vitamin A to active form to actually reap the benefits of it. So just remember that. If you want other sources of vitamin A, then obviously your liver, egg yolks, cod liver oil, butter, and dairy, and any orange and yellow vegetables contain vitamin A. But if you're having the vegetarian sources, you to convert it into active form. Iron. Iron is important for expansion of blood volume. So iron is also very important during pregnancy. So do not forget to consume iron. And before consuming iron, I would suggest get an iron panel test done because even overconsumption is not good. Like of course you need iron, but everybody's requirements of iron is very different from each other. So you rather get like a iron panel test done and then you'll come to know about the requirements. Next is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is required for healthy RBC production, neural development, fetal brain, formation of organs, and tissue and cell differentiation, and maintains healthy levels of homocysteine as well. So, homocysteine is this toxin which is not converted into a less toxic material because of the lack of vitamin B6, B9, and B12. So that is very important for pregnancy. Like I'll tell you a joke. Like there was this one client of mine, she wanted to get pregnant. Her homocysteine levels were high. I gave her a supplement called TMG. TMG comprises of B12, B9, and B6. So her husband was constantly saying, "Oh my God, this is so toxic to consume. Why are you consuming TMG?" And the joke went on for very long until the gynec itself asked them to consume TMG. And then she was like, "Oh my God, you were right, Sushmita. You told me to consume TMG." And my husband was making a nuisance out of it. So TMG is a very important supplement because it contains B9, B6, B12, which reduces your homocysteine levels, which are very important these days because homocysteine levels are really high in so many reports that I see. So do check your homocysteine levels as well. You have to bring that down during pregnancy. Um, then next is obviously like if you want vitamin B12 sources, then vitamin B12 is really present in fortified stuff like fortified cereals in terms of vegetarians. For non-vegetarians, it's organ, meat, shellfish, and oysters. And otherwise, fortified cereals for vegetarians. Um, Next is magnesium. Magnesium supports vascular complications. It also supports insulin signaling. So magnesium is very important for insulin signaling. And since a lot of pregnant women gain a lot of weight, their chances of becoming insulin resistance also increases. So magnesium helps with insulin signaling and it prevents insulin resistance to a certain extent. So magnesium is important for relaxation also because pregnancy is a very high stressful state. You need to calm your nerves down, and magnesium helps just with the same. That's why magnesium is also very important. Magnesium, I would suggest get from a supplemental form. Like natural forms again doesn't support the nutritional requirements of magnesium. Magnesium bisglycinate is amazing. Uh, then let's say iodine. Iodine to we get generally because of iodized salt. So that is not a big deal. And iodine is important to support maternal, fetal thyroid function and cognitive IQ. Iodine is very, very important for IQ, which a lot of people don't know. So, and do not fear like salt so much, right? Like, in fact, if you consume less salt, there is a chance of your BP increasing further and not reducing. That's a different mechanism that works in the body. So do not be afraid of salt. Salt is very important. Yes, don't overdo salt, of course, but don't reduce your salt intake also because it's very important for your fetals, IQ, and cognitive health. Uh, the other important mineral is zinc. Zinc is very important for rapid organ growth and DNA synthesis. Sources are wheat germ, cashews, seeds and walnuts. So zinc is also very important. You can get zinc from these sources easily. You don't need to consume a supplement for the same. Calcium. Calcium is very important for muscle contraction, neural development, blood coagulation, heart rate, fetal demand for bone and teeth formation, everything. Calcium, I would suggest to consume from a supplement form, at least 1000 to 1200. There's this brand of Pro Basics. And remember, calcium can't be consumed alone. Like you have to consume calcium with magnesium and K2. K2 is important because K2 will direct the calcium to get absorbed in the bones. Sometimes if you just take calcium supplements, it gets deposited in your arteries. And like there was this one case where a client of mine, he had too much of calcium in his arteries because he was consuming calcium supplements alone without taking into account the absorption of calcium and where it is going to get absorbed. So he was taking calcium without magnesium and K2, which was worse than not consuming calcium. So consume calcium with vitamin K2 and magnesium because magnesium will absorb calcium and K2 will direct it where to get absorbed, which is the bones and not the arteries and the other soft tissues. So remember that. There's this brand called True Basics, which has calcium with MK7 K2. That's your best friend. You should definitely buy that. Vitamin D. Vitamin D, we all are very deficient in because you don't get out in the sun. And any person with any skin issues or maybe if the liver is not functioning well, even they will have major vitamin D deficiency because vitamin D has an entire process it goes through which needs all your organs like your liver, kidney to become active, even your skin for that matter. So anything is like not in its prime functioning, vitamin D absorption will get affected and you'll be deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D, I would suggest you to have drops. Don't have that 60,000 IU together because that can lead to more toxicity and more or less all of it is not going to get absorbed again. So I would suggest have vitamin D drops every day instead of having like a 60,000 IU thing. There's this brand called iThrive. iThrive has vitamin D and K2 drops also. You can definitely consume that. Now, in pregnancy, I'm gonna tell you about how to deal with constipation, nausea, gas, bloating, acidity. All these four problems I'm gonna address. So what happens for constipation? When you're constipated, your fiber intake is very, very important. Water is important because your stools are majorly comprised of your fiber and water. So water consumption and fiber consumption is very important. You can consume something like a stewed apple, prunes, healthy fat, and obviously incorporate some movement because some movement is important to prevent constipation as well. So some movement is definitely very important for constipation and water, don't
Hi,
forget,
beta.
and fiber. Um, for your digestion is the very big issue. I know. Most of us, like most of the pregnant women, are passing gas all the time. So obviously, for gas, you can have, let's say, digestion. You can have frozen banana puree. You can have dry papaya, not the other one. Complex carbs and aloe vera gel. These are very, very good. Vitamin D drops, I got a question. It's called I Thrive. I Thrive. They have vitamin D drops. So you can consume that. So for your digestion, you can do this. If your digestion is really, really hampered, like it's not getting corrected, no matter how much you try, what you try, basically have this one supplement from Healthy Key, which has digestive enzymes. So that will help you with your digestion. If you try everything under the roof and it's not getting corrected, then that's your go-to supplement. You've been running stool since the start of pregnancy. I got a question. So basically, reduce your fiber intake, reduce your water intake, do the exact opposite and see how you feel. Now, gas and bloating. So a lot of pregnant women are in a hurry, right? They have no time and they're mostly stressed all the time. So usually pregnant women can chew their food very fast, which is the major problem for gas and bloating. So the first solution is chewing your food very gradually. That will resolve so many issues you have no idea. Uh, Obviously, don't overeat. Like during pregnancy, especially the first trimester, women can't eat because of the amount of nausea they have. So they usually skip a lot of meals and then just have one big meal together when they feel hungry. So I know it's very difficult to like eat so much, but at least like have your basic meals. So then in one go, you'll not overeat. And then you'll obviously get safe from bloating and gas, basically. So don't like just have your food chew your food very gradually and have smaller meals throughout the day. And don't have one major big chunk of the meal because that's going to lead to again gas and bloating. Now, acidity. Women just love their chai. Women, no, everybody just love their chai. First thing in the morning, empty stomach, they want to have chai. Boom. That is causing a lot of acidity, firstly. So don't have chai alone. Your body is in a state of fast. That's why it's called breakfast. Break fast means breaking your fast. And you can't break your fast with chai. That is the most unhealthy thing you're doing ever. So first, you should always prioritize protein in the morning. Have your protein intake in the morning first. Be it eggs if you're a vegetarian, have paneer. If you like smoothies, have like a yogurt smoothie also at the same time because even these Greek yogurts have a lot of protein in them. So try having that more. And then after like half an hour after that, you can have a chai. I'm not saying no for chai. I'm not a demon, but don't have it first in the morning, please. That's the worst thing. Um, now, and acidity, and obviously, yeah. So then basically, again, if you have smaller meals throughout the day, you will prevent yourself from getting acidity. Small meals throughout the day consumption, that will really help you a lot more than big, gigantic meals throughout the day. Like three times gigantic meals is worse. So then small meals, evenly distributed protein, carbs, and fat, that's going to help you fight acidity also at the same time. So, and firstly, you have to see whether you are dealing with high acid levels or low acid levels. Because a lot of people are dealing with low acid levels and they think it's hyperacidity and they do different measures for the same. And that impacts their health even further. So, first, see whether you are dealing with low acid levels or high acid levels. There's a test which you can do for the same to confirm the same. It's a very basic home test. It's for soda bicarbonate test. So, in the morning, first thing in the morning, see, this time this test is going to be very annoying because you'll start burping a lot. It's only a one-time test which you should definitely take. So first thing in the morning, have 200 ml of water, one pinch of soda bicarbonate. If your burps start immediately, that means you're dealing with high acid levels. If your burps start after a minute, time it, and you're getting slow burps, that means your body is dealing with low acid levels. And that means you need to increase your acid levels. So first see what type of acidity you have, hyper or hypo. And then take measures accordingly. And don't just naturally assume it's hyper. And if you go to a gastro, they'll just give you PPIs. So before going there, do this home test and see what your acid levels are. Um, other ways of fighting acidity would be don't eat late in the night, don't lie down immediately after meals, and after eating your food, walk around a bit. That will also help you fight acidity as well. Nausea. Nausea is one major concern. So for nausea, firstly, this is a very different measure. Some like nobody might have told you this, but then stay away from fragrances which really cause nausea. Like if there is some fragrance which irritates you, stay away from that because a lot of fragrances are in our houses which we don't like. Sometimes it's sit in the car and that also has a fragrance which we don't like. That's going to increase your nausea. So first, you have to stay away from fragrances that will increase your nausea because there's a lot of nausea already in the first trimester, so don't make it worse for you. So for that, stay away from fragrances, stay away from like avoid strong smells and try natural remedies like ginger tea will really help with nausea and overconsumption of vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is known for migraines also at the same time and it will definitely fight nausea. So B6 consumption, again, Healthy Key is a good brand. So you can definitely have that supplement and you can consume vitamin B6 if the nausea is unbearable. But then before that, again, do these other remedies, stay away from strong fragrances, avoid things which trigger you, especially if strong smells, and have sip on ginger tea. And then you can try B6 if nothing is working. How to improve sleep? Sleep on your left side. Left side improves sleep a lot. I know everything aches when you move. I got a question. So have magnesium. Magnesium will also like help you prevent those aches and pains. It's gonna ease you out, relax you out. So try having magnesium 500 every night before sleeping. That's gonna really help you. And obviously, you can take like all these warm baths. That's going to help you relax as well. And then calm your mind. Calm your mind. The more you calm your mind, the easier it will be for you to sleep. Now, the fifth question is how much weight you should gain during pregnancy. Okay. Now, if the person is already overweight while being pregnant, then nothing more than, let's say, 5 to 9 kgs. 9 kgs is tops if you're overweight. Um, because then if you have a lot of, like, if you gain a lot of weight, you can have chances of hypertension, preeclampsia in the long term, which is a very dangerous condition. You can also get something like gestational diabetes, thyroid. So to avoid all these complications, just don't gain a lot of weight if you're already overweight. Like 5 to 9 kgs tops, nothing more than that. If you're just overweight, not obese, like if you're just slightly overweight, then approximately 6.8 to 11.3 kgs is ideal to gain. Again, target that you should not gain more than that, because again, the more that you always should gain the right amount of weight. You should never consume too much of food to gain that much weight. I know there are many cravings during pregnancies. Your family members are making you eat laddus, eat this, eat that. People think around you that jitna beti khayegi utna bacha healthy banega, which is the wrong approach. So never think that way. Eat as much as required. Don't overdo it. And all these laddus really don't help. So no. Uh, if you have a normal weight, like a normal BMI, then anywhere between 11.3 to 15.9 kgs is good enough. Normal weight. Not overweight, not obese, just normal weight. 15 is tops. Uh, so yeah, and if you're underweight, you need to gain a lot of weight during pregnancy. So approximately, let's say between 12 to 18 kgs if you're underweight. Like let's say you're 49 kgs and you're like you're 5'3", for example. Then 12.7 to at least 18.1 kgs you have to gain when you're underweight. So keep that in mind. Now, the sixth question is about supplements. Please mention brand for calcium K2. Okay, the brand for calcium K2 D3 is called True Basics. So True Basics is a good brand which has a calcium, magnesium, and K2. Basically calcium plus MK7 K2. Yes, True Basics, that's right. Now the sixth question is supplements again. What you need in the first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. So you basically need these essential supplements the most, which is your folate, methyl folate, B12, choline if you get from egg yolks, if liver. If you're a non-vegetarian, especially, you don't need choline. If you're a vegetarian, then try having choline, because choline is very, very, very important. If you have choline, it's going to reduce your chances of the baby getting fatty liver also in the future. Basically, the more you nourish yourself during pregnancy and the more healthy you are, the same genes are going to be passed on to your baby. And the more unhealthy you are, the more unhealthy practices you preach during pregnancy, the more unhealthy genes are going to get passed on to your baby. Like someone who has very unhealthy eating habits, your baby will carry a gene of obesity and even diabetes. And that can get switched on in the child's life if the child doesn't take care of their health. So the healthier you are, the healthier your child will be, and your child's gonna thank you when they grow up. So do this for yourself and your baby. So the first trimester of supplements, you're supposed to consume these basic ones, as I mentioned, your folate, methyl folate, B12, choline again if you're a vegetarian. If you're not, then egg yolks are sufficient. Fat soluble supplements. A, you can get via food. D, you need to consume a supplement if you're really, really deficient in it. And honestly, every Indian is deficient. And as a matter of fact, 30 is sufficiency, but optimal range of vitamin D has to be 60. Nothing less than 60 should be there. It should definitely be 60 because that's the optimal range of vitamin D. So make sure you reach 60. If you're below 60, let's say if you're 28, then you're supposed to consume vitamin D like droplets at least for approximately 4 months. And then you can just consume a little lesser droplets once you reach in maintenance phase to just maintain your vitamin D levels. So yeah, but get your vitamin D tested, get your iron tested because these are very important tests also. Magnesium is important for preventing cramps, so calming the mother down. Calcium is important for bone growth and development, so calcium is supposed to be consumed. Uh, Zinc is also a good supplement. Zinc you can get from seeds and nuts. So zinc you don't really need to consume a supplement for, but zinc is an important mineral during the first trimester. Even selenium. Selenium basically deals with oxidative stress. It is a very, very powerful antioxidant. You don't need to consume a selenium supplement. Just have one Brazil nut a day. That is more than enough. One Brazil nut a day contains 200 mcg of selenium, which is as per your requirements. And do not keep consuming more Brazil nuts, because if you consume more Brazil nuts, you'll get more selenium. And selenium toxicity is a thing. So don't over consume selenium. I know Brazil nuts are very tasty, but don't keep consuming it thinking अरे जितना selenium खाऊंगी उतना better है. No, one nut is enough. Don't consume more than that. Um, then essential fatty acids like omega-3 is important, which contains EPA and DHA. Omega-3, I would suggest you to consume something called as krill oil. The krill oil from krill fish is a very potent form of omega-3. Again, this brand called iThrive has a good krill oil supplement. So even mid duty has. You can consume either mid duty or iThrive again for krill oil. How to treat gestational diabetes? Okay, I'll answer that question. Um, then basically you need to test, like your iron has to be tested. Check your selenium also, check your folate levels also, check your iron levels, check your zinc levels. The testing has to be done. Okay, now these are basic supplements you're supposed to consume. First trimester, B6 for nausea, D3 for vitamin D3 is low. Testing should be done approximately every month at least, just to see how much our levels have improved. So every month, I would suggest during pregnancy, you're supposed to get tested. So first trimester, again, B6 for nausea, your D3 for D3 levels are really low. Magnesium, again, for cramps and for getting good sleep, for calming yourself down. Iron is important for blood volume expansion. So iron is important, 28 mg per day. Omega-3. And this one supplement nobody really emphasizes on, which is probiotics, like healthy gut bacteria. The more your gut bacteria is healthy, the more healthy gut bacteria gets passed on to your baby. So keep in mind to have a good amount of probiotics also for any bloating, gas, which everybody does. So just to make things better, have a probiotic at least for 1 month to grow good gut bacteria. And then to maintain the probiotics, have it once in 2 days, just to maintain the good bacteria in your gut. Um, and again, ginger tea for nausea can be done in the first trimester. Second trimester, continue the essentials like your protein, your B vitamins like folate, B12, choline is important, your A, D, K, your iron, iodine, magnesium, calcium, zinc, selenium. Zinc, selenium, again, you can get it through natural sources. You don't need to take a supplement for the same. Even choline, if you're a non-vegetarian, you don't need. If you're a vegetarian, then go for it. So these are the basic ones. And second trimester, continue with your iron. Iron bisglycinate is a good form. If you feel constipated with iron bisglycinate, there is one iron bisglycinate droplet form also available in the market. You can consume that also at the same time. Omega-3 you have to continue in the second trimester. Probiotics continue. Vitamin C continue. Magnesium continue. Calcium 1000 to 1200 mg is sufficient for the second trimester. Now, third trimester, see your K2 levels. There's a test for K2 also, which is available in India, but it's not like abundantly available. You can really look for a lab which tests your K2 levels. So K2 is also very important. Get your K2 tested. Uh, Hyper focus on your omega-3, hyper focus on your choline in the third trimester. Magnesium is again very important. Then there's something called as red raspberry tea. Red raspberry tea is also very important in the third trimester. And of course, your probiotics, if required. If you already have good gut bacteria, then maintain your probiotics, as I mentioned. Like after you finish probiotics for a month, then you can have it once in 2 days on the maintenance phase. So continue with that also. Now, the seventh question is myth busting. Myth busting. Uh, there's a lot of misinformation about pregnancy nutrition. It's widespread and can have real consequences for both mother and the baby. So I'm in third trimester and I have BP. I'll answer the questions later. Myths. First myth basically is caloric and weight myth. Eat for two. You should not eat for two. You should eat for 1.1. Don't eat for two. Like, to be honest, like the calorie intake in the first trimester is not that much. Like, you can keep your protein to, like, depends on body to body, of course, but it's not too much. Like, don't over consume it. Don't consume 280 grams of carbs. Not required. You can keep the carb consumption to max 150 grams also at the same time. Protein is important. Consume at least 100 grams of protein. Um, and good fats from good sources. Also, the second trimester requirement just increases by 300 calories, nothing more than that. So, too much of food is again not really required. Like, just the right amount of food is required. Okay. Now, gaining more than recommended weight during pregnancy is dangerous, is the myth. But also at the same time, this could be a fact if you gain too much of weight. Again, as I mentioned that, according to you being obese, overweight, underweight, and normal weight, how much weight you're supposed to gain. So if you gain like maybe 1 kg or 2 kg more than that, whatever the requirements are, is still acceptable. But anything above 2 kgs can again lead to many complications. Like again, gestation diabetes, thyroid, hypertension, preeclampsia. So just to avoid all these complications, don't gain too much of weight. Keep your weight in mind. Now some women are like, are they pregnant women? Like some, I know this one person via also at the same time. She just told me I want to detox during pregnancy. That is a myth. You should never focus on detox fasting during pregnancy. It's not really good for you, your baby's health and development. You're in a state of abundance. Pregnancy is a state of abundance where your body needs more food. You can't make it starve. You can't go in survival mode during pregnancy. So please do not starve yourself. There's nothing like detox diet or fasting during pregnancy, which you should follow. So do not do that. You need nutrition. Your body is in a state of abundance again, not starvation or survival. So never think of detoxifying yourself during pregnancy. Then the fourth myth is people demonize fat and cholesterol. Matlab, I've seen people having, let's say, such a big bowl of poha, such a big bowl of rice. And if I tell them have two eggs, अरे madam cholesterol नहीं बढ़ेगा. Uh, I'm like, no, like cholesterol is important for your sex hormone formation. Now, estrogen, progesterone, everything in your body is formed through fat. This is your hormones. So you have to consume a good amount of fat, but not too much fat also at the same time. And never scared of cholesterol. Get scared of too much consumption of carbs, not cholesterol. Fat is good, it's not bad. Salt. Again, salt, just consume the exact amount of salt. Because as I mentioned, in fact, if you consume less salt, there's another mechanism in the body which takes place, which will increase the risk of hypertension. So don't consume, like, don't over consume salt for salt, but don't under consume salt as well. Like consume the right amount of salt, which is important. Don't don't get feared because of salt consumption is what I have to say. Just consume the right amount of salt because iodine, remember, iodine is important for cognitive function, IQ. So iodine is important. Seafood. People say seafood must be strictly restricted. Yes, there are some variants that are restricted, but not all variants. The ones which contain high mercury, restrict those, but don't restrict seafood completely. If you love seafood, have it like thrice a week which has less mercury. But then don't like have high mercury seafoods. Have the one which has moderate mercury, but then once or twice a week. Nothing more than that. And obviously, seafood is important for omega-3. So if you're having a supplement, and then, like, for example, omega-3 supplement fish, omega-3 fish, omega-3 fish. This is like a good way to follow it. So keep alternating between the omega-3 and fish if you're a regular fish consumer. Just don't just avoid the high mercury containing fishes, but you can consume fish if it's not high in mercury. Uh Again, there's one myth ki wahi. Eat as much as carbs as you want and eat more food. Eat the right amount of food. Don't have too much food. Question, can I take omega-3 tablet in second trimester? Yes, please go for it. Omega-3 you have to take in life overall. I myself take vitamin C, vitamin E. I have a Brazil nut a day. I have my vitamin D because my vitamin D is a little low right now. So I'm making it up to reach the optimal levels. So omega-3 you should have during the third trimester.
Sushmita, I
Oh,
think a lot of questions will keep coming in, and if we keep answering them, we'll lose out on opportunity
yes,
to hearing other experts as well. And
yes,
I know this is to the participants. I know all of you are very excited because Sushmita is here with us, and you have a lot of questions. But I would urge all of you to go join the WhatsApp group and follow her on Instagram and get in touch with her for your individual one-on-one queries
yes.
and consultation, so that she can help you out with your individual needs as well.
Okay. Now there are just 3 minutes left. I'll just cover that. Then I'll answer how many other questions I can during the question answer round. Fruit. People consume fruit first in the morning. That's a myth that fruit will ease your morning sickness. No, nothing like that. In fact, consuming fruit in the morning is the worst because see, fruit has two types of sugars, fructose and glucose, depending on the fruit you consume. So if you consume something like berries, berries have more fructose compared to glucose. It's still okay. If you consume something like a banana, then that is bad. That's going to lead to like sugar spikes. And if you're already someone who has insulin resistance, you're not supposed to consume fruit first thing in the morning or chai for that matter because of acidity. So your first meal should always be protein first thing in the morning. And yeah, there's one more myth where people think, oh, I'm taking a prenatal supplement and I don't need to follow good diet because anyway I'm having a prenatal supplement. See, supplement is supplement, not replacement. You have to have a good diet along with supplementing yourself with good supplements. So a good prenatal supplement will never replace a bad diet. What I mean to say is that you follow a good diet. Along with that, you have to consume a prenatal supplement. So yeah, people think if I have a prenatal supplement again, I don't need to follow good diet, but that's a myth. Uh, then then obviously there's one more myth which revolves around the same. Dal is protein. I'm consuming so much protein. I have so much protein in my diet. I have a combination of dal, rajma, chole, sprouts. No. I'll give a better example to like prove my point. Basically, let's take 100 grams of paneer over here. Now, to match the protein of 100 grams of paneer, you will need to consume at least 7 katoris of dal. Patla dal, 7 katoris. And along with that dal, you will get the protein as much as you get from paneer in 7 katoris. But that's going to come with so much of carbs, right? And dals will cause so much bloating as well, which is a no-no during pregnancy. So, optimize your first class protein consumption. You like dal, you like rajma, consume it, but sparingly, not as your main source of protein, because again, it's not a protein source. Now, another myth is soy. People think that soybean is very healthy. It is really not. Soybean is the most inflammatory food present in the market, and it's not a first class protein source. Like there was this very big thing that was done in the US years back where they had to sell the produce of soybean. And there is a protein ranking system. Okay, in the protein ranking system, soybean's rating came very okayish in the first few ratings. In the last rating, just because they had to sell their soybean produce, it came the highest. That's why people have this myth that soybean is very good and soybean is a protein. No, it is not a protein. And it is one of the most useless food in the market, to be very honest. So don't rely on soybean at all. And it basically causes a lot of inflammation. So avoid soybean. As worse, if you have a pre-existing thyroid issue and if you develop thyroid during pregnancy, then soybean is all the more worse for you. So just avoid soybean completely. It's not a good food. Cravings. So people think that cravings indicate a nutritional deficiency. Up to a certain extent, that is good. Like if you're somebody who keeps craving for sweets all the time, like I want a chocolate, I want a chocolate, I want chocolate throughout the day, then you have a severe magnesium deficiency. But if you just like crave for chocolate once in a while, it's just you craving for chocolate. Nothing more than that. It's as simple as that. But don't overthink and think, "Arey, oh my God, मुझे एक chocolate का craving हो रहा है, कुछ deficiency होगा." No, as long as you've sorted out your deficiency panel, you've taken all your tests, you're consuming your supplements, and if you're still craving for chocolate once in a while, it is just okay. It's not a big deal. Yes. And the last myth, what I want to say is that, like, there are so many products in the market which term themselves as healthy. Like, I'll tell you one example. Yesterday, a client of mine sent me a picture of some millet biscuit. She like, is this safe to consume? I asked her to send me the ingredients. I was labeled as healthy millet biscuit. When I saw the ingredients and I saw the label, basically the first five ingredients on the label are present in the most concentrated amount in the biscuit, and it said millet biscuit, ragi biscuit. Now listen to this. The first ingredient was wholemeal flour, which is maida. That was 30%. Then 20% was wheat. Then I think 30% was jaggery. A few percentage was nuts. And the last one was 3% ragi. So do not rely on these biscuits. Read the ingredients, read the labels. The first five ingredients are present in the most concentrated quantity. So don't let these brands fool you. Read the labels, they really, really matter. Especially the first five ingredients. Remember this. Yes, that is all. If you have any questions, then let me know.
Thank you so much, Sushmita. That was really packed with a lot of information. And I think everyone had so many questions that it was
Yeah,
so difficult not to pick those. But I think this is going to make a lot of difference in the pregnancy journey of all the people who are attending today.
yes,
Because for me, also, a lot of things were eye opening that, oh, these things which we used to assume that, hey, they are safe. But we never knew there are things that can have, implications on your health. So thank you so much for joining us today. And participants, if you have any more questions which are more personal, more one on one, I would urge you to get in touch with Sushmita and book a consultation. She will answer all your queries.
yes.
Um, just a reminder to everyone to make sure that you have filled the attendance form as well as join the WhatsApp group. Thank you, Sushmita. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Most welcome. If you have any questions, you want to get in touch with me personally for any diet related queries, you want to take a diet plan, my Instagram handle is Get Fit with Sush. So do connect with me if you need help with anything, be it thyroid, PMOS, diabetes, pregnancy, postpartum, nutrition. I basically know how to treat everything. So don't hesitate and get in touch with me.
Thank you so much, Sushmita. It was a
Most
very
welcome.
insightful session.
Most
So
welcome.
we are back with the second round of fastest finger first. Let your chat boxes and fingers be ready. I'll ask you another question, and the first person to answer it in the chat box will be eligible as the winner. So let's keep the chat boxes open, fingers ready. The question is, what is the name of Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt's daughter? Oh my God. Microseconds and the answers are already there. We have 74, 75, 77. Oh my God. Plus 80 plus answers already there in the chat box. This is fun. So we will announce the winners of both the fastest finger first by the end of today's bump celebrations. Now moving on to our third session. But before we begin, as the ritual follows, we will be running a poll. So you'll see a poll question on your screen. Have you considered cloth diapers for your baby? Definitely. I'm curious. I'm still confused. Haven't thought about it. Let's take 10 seconds because this is the easy one. All right. You will see the responses on your screens that 75% people have already definitely considered cloth diapering as an option. A few people, like 20% people, are still confused and curious about what this is. I'll run one more question before we move to our third session. The question is, what's your biggest cloth diapering question? How do they work? Will they leak? How do I wash them? Or are they actually easy to use? Again, an easy question, so we'll take like 10-15 seconds at max. All right, more than 70% people have voted, so I'll end the poll. And this is for our expert also to see who will be answering these questions, that A lot of people are worried about how to wash them. Will they leak? A few of us are also worried about how to actually use them and how do they work. Right. So, to answer these questions, we have the next session planned for you, which is cloth diapering basics, everything a new parent needs to know about cloth diapering. Whether you're already planning to use cloth diapers or you're simply wondering how do they work for you, this session is for you. We're going to break down the basics and make cloth diapering feel like a lot less intimidating that you might have assumed it to be. We have Dr. Kaushalya with us to answer all our questions and to throw a lot of light on cloth diapering. Over to you, Kaushalya. Please take it over.
Hi everyone. Okay, I'm just setting my screen. Just give me a minute. Okay, Myra, can you allow me to share the screen, please? Yes. So, hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to the 18th edition of Pump Celebration. We are very happy to have all of you here. And today we're going to talk about something which is very important part of your parenting journey. That is diapering. And I'm sure as a to be parent, all of you must be wondering, okay, what am I going to use as a diaper for my little one once he or she is born? And I promise we'll keep it very, very simple, practical, and relevant, especially if you're going to be a first time parent. So, what are we going to cover today? We are going to talk about disposables versus langots. We are going to talk about what super bottoms are exactly, your saving stories, your diaper free time, your sizing as the baby grows. How can you size your diapers? And then about a good community, a parent tribe community that we have created for a fellow like minded parents. Yes, we're going to see first about the regular langot and dry field langot. This is something most probably all of us have seen, the traditional langot. So the traditional langot is a layer of cloth and it has few loops, a very rough fabric. Probably it has been stitched from a soft cloth at home or your grandmother's sari or a dhoti, right? And now we are going to talk about Super Bottoms Langot. So Super Bottoms Langot has three layers with a dry feel layer, adjustable double loops. Why the adjustable double loops? So you can adjust it around your baby, and the cotton fabric there is very, very soft. And the langot holds up to 1 p, which can be used for your diaper free time as well. So this is the major difference between the dry field langot and the regular langot or the traditional langot, which we have been using for generations and generations. Yes. And now we are going to introduce super bottoms to you. Before we go any further, let me introduce super bottoms for those who may be hearing about us for the first time. Our whole focus has been to make reusable cloth diapering more practical for real parents. Because when you have a baby, you don't want something that looks great on paper, but it has to become very easy for you to use as well. So, why does the newborn Uno Lux work very well for you? If you're expecting your first baby, this will be the right choice for your baby because the Uno newborn is going to be very soft. The Lux, the premium one, it is going to keep your baby's skin soft, moist, and also dry. It has a waterproof layer so that once your baby pees into it, it is going to get absorbed and the baby's bum is going to be kept dry. And we have certified organic pads along with the newborn Uno, which is very delicate on the gentle baby skin. And we have the velcro fastening. So why the velcro fastening? So that it doesn't give any discomfort for the baby, and also it ensures that your baby has the more snug fit. And now moving on, we have free size Uno. So the free size Uno, it is like the difference between below 3 months baby and about 3 months baby. The newborn Uno can be used till 3 months, and the free size Uno 3 months to 3 years. Imagine once your baby becomes 3 months, you start using free size Uno or the new Uno Lux, and it can be used up to 3 years. That is till your baby is completely pee and potty trained, right? Free size Uno, it is like one Uno for the growing baby. It has multiple snap attachments, and we also have Velcro now along with the Lux. So this is also having a waterproof outer along with a dry feel layer with organic cotton pads and adjustable snap systems. And now, this is actually one of the biggest advantages when you choose. The thing is, you're not simply buying a diaper, you're investing in a reusable cloth diaper which can fit your baby as they grow. And now, this is all you have to use. 16 diapers for the entire time your baby is going to be diapered. That is all, and nothing more. And now, savings. So you're going to save up to 74% of the money that you will be spending on disposable diapers. And don't worry, I am not just doing only presentation here. I'm going to show you the products so that you can see the products yourself at the end of the session. So what is it for the diaper free time we have? We have padded underwears and langots. Diaper free times can sometimes be very messy. People don't understand the difference between diaper free time and diaper time. Diaper time is the where you keep your baby entirely in the diapers. Okay. So maybe when they are sleeping, nap time, when you are out in the park, games, etc. But diaper free time is very, very essential. The idea is to stop one diaper at a time while your baby grows so that they are pee and potty trained more easily. This can be very, very messy. Believe me, I've gone through this phase with my daughter, and most of the parents, first time parents, must be very, very worried about this. Yes, we have two different solutions for two different stages. So 0 to 9 months ke liye, we have dry field langot, and your dry field langot is going to look like this. I hope this is seen. Okay. And then moving on, after 9 months to 4 years, we have padded underwears. So this padded underwears has 3 layers of cotton padding with a dry feel layer, which is going to absorb 1 p. We have thigh region, which will make it more snug fit. And then we have talked enough about the newborns. We have talked enough about the padded underwear, toddlers, and everything, right? Now we are going to talk about the mums. Mums, we have some products for you, the period range, because sometimes period can become very uncomfortable, especially once you deliver. So we have period range, which can be used for bladder incontinence underwear, period underwear. All these can be a very wonderful product for the mothers. So this is made up of 35% cotton, 60% premium bamboo plant based, and 5% lycra. So this gives you a full coverage because it covers up to your high waist and can give you up to 8 hours of absorbency. This is very, very postpartum friendly, and I'm sure all of you to be first time moms will definitely need this. And then we are loved by so many parents. We have been chosen by 100,000 plus parents. We would love to be one of the supporters of your parenting journey as well. But don't worry, the parenting journey, we have right parents and right support for you to connect with us so that they can extend their support to you. We have our wonderful Moms Connect team. We are available on call and on WhatsApp support as well. And then this is exactly why we have the 100K plus parents community, because you need support. Parenting is done only with support. You need a village to raise your child, and we are the village for that. So, with that, we have come to the end of the session. And now I think it's the right time for me to show you all the products. Just a minute. I am just getting this sorted. Okay. Cancel. So now, initially, when we were talking about the cloth diapers, we started with regular langot and dry feel langot. So all of you must have seen a regular langot, so I don't have to show you that. Now we have the dry feel langot from SuperBottoms. So look at the amazing prints here. I hope you're able to see. Yes, look at the amazing prints here. And this is the padding layer along with the dry feel layer. You have a loop which can be adjusted around your baby's waist. This will hold up to 1p. This is not only this, we also have muslin langots, which is going to look very, very soft, snug, and comfortable for your baby. This is the front. This is where you tie. I hope this is visible. Yes, yes, yes. And then we move on to the newborn lux. So this is a newborn. Chota sa hai, but don't worry. Though it is small, it does its work very, very wonderfully with a Velcro with the padding. So this is the padding. So this is a foldable pad. You can fold it like this and attach it to your newborn Uno like this, right? This will hold up to 3 to 4 hours of your baby, newborn baby. Especially newborn babies pee a lot. All they do is, drink, sleep, pee, poop. So you must expect a lot of pee, lot of poop during your first 3 months, and your best friend during that time are going to be the dry feel langoot and the newborn Uno. And then once after the baby grows, what am I going to do after 3 months, right? You move on to Uno Lux or the free size Uno. So Uno Lux is also having a minky layer with a soaker pad. This is called a soaker pad, a 3 times foldable pad as usual, like how we had it in the newborn Uno. We also provide a booster pad. These booster pads, because as the baby grows from 3 months to 3 years, maybe the frequency of the pee, that is the number of times the baby pees, may be reduced, but the pee quantity is going to be slightly higher because the babies are growing. They have started, like once after 6 months, they have started solids, they started drinking juice, soup, etc., etc. So when they pee more, and if you want to use cloth diapers during your night time, we suggest you use boosters and the soakers. These two kept inside, and then you can attach them here. Right. I am seeing a lot of questions on how to wash them. Yes, I'll come to that exactly. And then for another diaper free time product, we have these padded underwears. Like I said, these padded underwears are going to be a friend when you want to pee and potty train your baby. We have them in multiple prints and multiple sizes. These have these snug fit thigh regions where it fits exactly to your thigh. It is not going to baby's thigh. It will not create any rashes because of that exact snug fit. And these padded underwears have 3 layers of cotton, which holds 1 or 2 peas of your baby. And then we talked about mom's hygiene products also. So here we are, moms, your best buddy during your period days, the period underwear. We also have urinary incontinence underwear, which you can use during your pregnancy or pre-pregnancy and postpartum phase, when all of us face some sort of incontinence, like the leak of urine during your sneeze or laugh, or when you bend down, and like suddenly when you get up, all these. So these period underwear can be used up to 8 hours. And these are more sustainable, washable. We get them in 3 different colors as well. Yes. So now moving on to washing. Wash routine is very, very easy. Once the baby is peed into it, all you have to do is give a pre-wash. Pre-wash is a very quick wash under running water, and then you soak them for 30 minutes with detergent powder, and then you can wash them regularly along with your regular clothes. So the importance of pre-wash is all your pee is washed off. So once the pee is washed off, it is safe and hygienic enough to be washed with your regular clothes. You can wash detergents which are fragrance free. For fragrance free, we say like the addition of jasmine or rose scented, detergent powders. You can avoid that. Otherwise, feel free to check out our website to use detergent sheets as well. SuperBottoms has detergent sheets which are baby friendly, skin friendly, and cloth diaper friendly. Please feel free to use them. So in case of poop accidents, so many parents also ask us, okay, my baby doesn't only pee in the diaper, my baby also poops in the diaper. So what do I do? Yes, poop accidents are very, very dreadful. We understand that. So we do provide a disposable liner or a reusable liner for your diapers, which can be placed on top of these soakers. So when you have a diaper, place the liner on top of this, and once the baby poops into it, you can just flush out the poop, give them a pre-wash, and put it up there in your washing machine. You can hand wash it, you can use your washing machine to wash it. All you have to do is just pre-wash followed by a main wash. Use detergents which are fragrance free. And then how do I dry them? This is one of the another most asked question with us, like how do I dry them? All you have to do is, if you have hand washed them, the diaper is going to take a little extra time, probably an hour or two extra, to dry in the direct sunlight. But if you have machine washed them, all it takes is about 2 hours to dry in the direct sunlight. Now the another question that comes to a mother's mind is, okay, I don't have direct sunlight, what do I do? That's perfectly fine. You can dry them in the shade. You can also dry them in the spaces where you have some heated appliances. Like for example, we do use room heaters in our houses during winters. So you can dry your cloth diapers in a room where you have set up a room heater. You can dry them in your balcony and also under direct sunlight. But just keep a note, when you are going to dry it under direct sunlight, dry them only for 2 hours. Why the 2 hours? Because the overexposure to direct sunlight can make your diapers go a little harsh, a little rough. That is why we say remove them from the direct sunlight. Yes, yes, of course, you can use a dryer. You can use, I suppose you mean the dryer in the washing machine. Yes, that can be definitely used, but not your hair dryer. I hope that is clear. So you can dry them in the direct sunlight for about 2 hours, remove them. If you feel your diaper needs to dry a little more, leave them in a shaded balcony or in a rack where there is only indirect sunlight. So this is how you wash your diapers. And once you have washed them, fold them, keep them safely so that you can use it again and again. We have had our moms use the same set of diapers for their firstborn and for their secondborn. So our diapers can be used for 300 plus washes. Don't you worry about this. And also, don't feel that we will only give you instructions. We will definitely support you in your cloth diapering journey. Ask any questions and we are there to answer your questions. uh, by blower you mean the hair dryer blower? No, no, because the direct air from there can make your diapers, can make your soakers go a little rough and hard. So please don't use any electrical appliances. Maybe you can leave the diaper in the room where you have a room heater setup, where there is a lot of heat, or you can probably dry it under a shaded balcony also. We have also provided our customer care number. We have provided the WhatsApp chat for our WhatsApp chat link for our cloth diapering group. You may join there. We have a wonderful customer care team who can assist you in 10 plus regional languages, and they will assist you in every single query that you have. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I would also like to close my session with a very, very small thought. I hope the session today was very enjoyable for you. You have some cloth diapering doubts that have been answered. Okay.
और सच हमेशा 3 की तरह कड़वा होता है लेकिन रात सारी होता है आप भी इसके बन गई है क्योंकि आपको करने पर मजा आने लग गया I would request all participants to please mute themselves.
कहानी थ्रिलिंग होती है।
Sorry, I've
Okay.
muted everyone. Posse, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Thanks.
So, for the first time parents to be parents, for the second time to be parents, parenting comes with lots and lots of questions, and you have to figure everything out alone. But you don't have to figure everything all alone, because you have SuperBottoms, you have Parent Tribe community, where we are there at every step of your parenting, every step of your cloth diapering. SuperBottoms is not just a cloth diapering community, it is a parenting community, and we are there to support you. We will be happily joining you in every step of your parenting journey. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, Shalu.
Thank you so much to you, Kaushalya. This was a very insightful session. There were a lot of information for a new parent that they would need. If there are more questions that you guys have, we have already shared the community link as well as the Moms Connect number. I would request the team at the back end to please share the Moms Connect details once again in the chat. You guys can get in touch with the Moms Connect team, which is the customer service team for SuperBottoms. And I read some amazing comments here about how people think that SuperBottoms is the best diaper company in the world. Uh, the love for sustainability and SuperBottoms is all over the chat section. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing all the love. And thank you, Kaushalya, for being with us. Um, so before we move to the last session of the day, like the regular reminder, if you have not filled the attendance sheet, please go ahead and fill the attendance sheet, because reminding you all that the winners will be chosen from the mega giveaway winners will be chosen from the attendance sheet. So please make sure that you all have filled the form. um, Before we move to the poll for the last session, let's do one last fastest finger first. So the last question, and let's keep the chat boxes open and our fingers ready. The last question for fastest finger first is, what is name of Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas's daughter? Let's go. Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas's daughter. 60 responses already. Oh my god. 70. Almost everyone is answering. Right. So I think we can close this, and we'll announce the winners at the end of the session. So please stay with us till the end. We have the last session planned for all of you today. Before we go into the session, I'll be launching, as our tradition is, two poll questions. One is already on your screens. The question is, dads to be, what's your biggest question about becoming your dad? Is it, how do I support the mom? How do I care for the newborn? How do I bond with my baby? Or all of the above? And in the first question that we asked about the demographic, we saw that there are a lot of dads today attending the session, and both parents as well attending. So let's see what is the biggest concern. Most people think all of them. How do they support the mother as well as the baby, and how do they bond with the baby is the concern that they face. We'll do one more poll question, after which we'll directly dwell into the topic. Who should handle newborn care? The mom, the dad, both, or whoever is awake? All right, you'll see the answers on your screen. 76% people think both, 16% think whoever is awake, which is also a great approach, because everyone needs sleep once a baby is born, and the sleep becomes a big luxury once there is a newborn child in the home. So we'll now come to the last session, which is the father's role supporting the mom and the baby. Fatherhood doesn't begin just when the baby arrives. It begins with showing up, supporting the mother while she's pregnant also, and learning how to care for the newborn and building that parenting partnership together as both the parents. Our final expert today is Dr. Krishnasamy Sangabeshwara, senior pediatrician and neonatologist with 26 years of clinical experience, including a decade of practice in UK and more than 2 years of dedicated practice. Currently, he is associated with Rao Hospital for the past 13 years. He'll be talking about supporting moms during pregnancy and after delivery, newborn care, bonding with the baby, recognizing baby blues and postpartum depression, and building a strong parenting partnership with your partner. Because this journey is not about parenting as one parent, it is all about being together. So, Dr. Krishnaswamy, over to you. A huge bump welcome to you to the sessions. So you are on mute. We can't hear you. Myra, I think you'll have to unmute him.
Yes, finally here.
Yes.
Can you all hear me? Am I audible? Yeah. Traditionally it was believed that the girl's parents, whenever they get pregnant, they take them home, and then after pregnancy, they take them home for all the checkups. And that used to be the case 10, 15 years ago. I'm glad that's not the case now. Nowadays, I see a lot of youngsters coming along with mothers for each and every checkup. And I believe a lot of fathers to be are attending this session. Is that right? Hi, hello, and I'm Dr. Krishna Swami. I work as a pediatrician in Rao Hospital. Is my slide visible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir. We can see it. Yes.
Okay. So I am Dr. Krishna Swami. I work as a pediatrician in Rao Hospital, which is based in Coimbatore. Now, this is all about fathers to be and how they can support the mother in during the pregnancy time and the baby once the baby is delivered. So let's quickly dive and see what the evidence says about the hormones, bonding, baby blues, and building a parenting team from day one of the baby's life. So why fathers matter? It matters because fathers also show some measurable hormonal and behavioral changes for caregiving. And children involved with fathers do measurably much better when they grow up. And father's active involvement is linked to stronger cognitive, that is the IQ, and the language development in children. And they become better social and emotional well-beings. And they are highly sociable, and they're really confident and have a lot of self-control. So father's role is they're just no more a bystander. They are not standing there just observing. It's not my job. It's nothing like that. So what is the role in pregnancy actually? The fatherhood actually starts long before the delivery day. So showing up for scans, antenatal appointments, and classes do change the outcome for both the mother and the baby. So in antenatally, how they can engage is they can have the first contact with the health professional, and at least they should be attending more than 90% mandatory attendance antenatal classes. So that was a joke. So how it involves maternal well-being is paternity leave, which sadly in India it's not available, but paternity leave was strongly associated with mother and baby's well-being. And they should start taking up some nurturing role. They should take responsibility, identify a provider role, show intent to care, and definitely don't shy away. So, what happens inside the dad's body? So, dad starts once they start becoming, or once a lady becomes pregnant, once they get involved, they show measurable hormonal shifts that parallels with the mother's experience. So, they have, in fact, low testosterone level and high prolactin and cortisol level. So, there is something called as the coward symptoms that the father also experiences the real and measurable symptoms just like the mother. So the bottom line is a lower testosterone, high prolactin dad is a biologically primed dad wired to notice and respond to the baby. So, how do they support the mothers? They have to support the mothers emotionally, practically, and do it consistently. So, partnership support is one of the strongest positive factors against perinatal depression and anxiety, which every mother goes through. So, emotionally, they should be available for support, listening to the mothers, and staying emotionally connected during physically and mentally demanding season rather than trying to fix the problem. They should be available for practical and instrumental support, like sharing a night walk, sharing a meal, and sharing the household jobs. See, even if you share, if you're in a joint family and your grandparents are helping out, it is end of the day the father's job to get involved and do the task. And more importantly, I see a lot of conflict when it comes to the communication. Communication and conflict repair is very important. So have positive communication with the partner, and that works against perinatal depression, and unresolved conflict is a consistent risk factor. You know, even great wars have ended with bilateral talks. So one should be aware how to differentiate between baby blues and postpartum depression. When it comes to baby blues, almost 90%, 99% of the all pregnant women, all mothers who have given birth go through 80% of them go through this. It is very, very common. It starts from 2 to 3 days after birth, but resolves quite quickly, about 2 to 3 weeks. There will be some mild sadness, some tearfulness, and some mood swings, but it does not impair the daily functioning of the mother. Therefore, no treatment is necessary, just reassurance and rest is enough. Whereas postpartum depression commonly starts from week 1 to week 3, can occur up to 1 year after birth, and persists beyond 2 weeks. There is intense sadness, anxiety, and despair, and it interferes with daily tasks and bonding. And this actually needs careful screening and support and treatment. A father's job is to know the difference between these two and watch for symptoms carefully, which last beyond 2 weeks, and help mother get screened. So, you know, not only mothers, even the fathers get the blues too. It is not just a maternal phenomenon. Paternal depression is very common and correlates with maternal depression and is often very undermined. About 10% of fathers have reported they experience prenatal or postpartum depression. 25% of them in fathers during the 3 to 4 months postpartum window. About 17% of first time fathers reported postpartum blues in one large cohort. So, paternal postpartum blues symptoms are associated with impaired father to infant bonding. So, bonding with the baby should start from day one. Bonding isn't just reserved for the mothers, but definitely the fathers should get involved. And something the pediatrician will tell you something called as a skin to skin contact, that even the father should start doing it. Skin to skin contact, which means the baby skin to the father's skin or mother's skin. And when they do that, it markedly shows raised oxytocin, salivary oxytocin level, and lowered the cortisol level. So same stress buffering and bonding hormone in mothers. So when the father does it, it replicates what the mother does. Sharing newborn care from week one. How do they do it? Nighttime feeds, whether it's a bottle feeding or express breast milk, and settling the babies and staying awake during the night time, they have to share it with the partner. And they need to get actively involved in changing the diapers, bathing the baby, soothing and skin to skin care provided. Consistency is a key. It's not just showing up one day and not showing up on the other day. Consistently getting involved is what it matters. So there is something called building a framework, building a strong partnership with the co-parent, which is called co-parenting. A birth of the first child is the single best window for building that skill. Shared decision making of caregiving choices, mutual respect for each other's parenting style, coordinated division of labor, and supporting each other's parenting styles and not blaming each other. So, the take home message is showing up for scans, appointments, and classes, expecting your hormones and emotional shift to and getting help where needed, holding your baby skin to skin very often and early, learning to recognize what baby blues and how is it different from postpartum depression, hands on with newborn care from day one, and building a co parenting team with your partner. So let's explore, learn, and experience together. Have a blissful parenting.
Thank you so much, Dr. Krishnasamy. Guys, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments and we'll pick those questions and sir will answer them. We have a few questions here. I'll just read them out. When I had my first child, no help was available with us. My husband took 1 week holiday and did everything possible, like cooking, cleaning house, and taking care. Okay, there's no question here, but somebody has shared their experience. Somebody has asked about single mothers or like in a setup where the fathers are absent. What kind of dynamic can help them in building the support system?
See, that is where a strong family bonding is important. Dads are the best partners that can be available, but unfortunately, in these recent times, both parents are working, and in our society, we don't have something called a paternity leave. Only some government sectors offer some 15 days leave, which is not enough. So, unfortunately, I've come across parents where they suffer due to this um, problem, especially those who work in Navy and those work away from home. So, this is where their parents' support is very important. Either the father-in-law on both sides, uh, the parents have to be supportive. That's the only way they can get involved. Especially fathers, if you're unfortunately, I can understand if you have to be away, at least you make it a point that you see your baby once or twice a day, talk to your baby. There are so many medias available now, so you make sure you talk, let your baby hear your noise, your sounds, whatever you want to talk to you. Sometimes they make funny faces. Some dads like making some noises that relates to that. So you can communicate, keep communicating from your with your newborn. That is very important.
Also one question by Ali that, and this is, I think everyone experiences because mothers play a very important role in breastfeeding, which is a sole responsibility of the mother herself. So, as a father, how do you ensure that you don't feel left out of child's growing up times?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. As a
I mean,
father,
the biggest responsibility for a newborn, which is breastfeeding, is completely taken over by the mother. So, how do fathers not feel left out of the whole process?
see, that is the whole point of providing skin to skin care. The skin to skin care, it replicates the mother's emotions, and that is what I mentioned. It shows similar hormonal changes and the feelings in the father too. Of course, in abroad, what they do is even the father is allowed to breastfeed the baby. some mothers use pacifiers. You heard of it, right? Pacifiers. So fathers can actually not only provide skin to skin care, but they can actually feed the baby. So that when the baby suckles, that gives a comfort for the father and the baby, because sucking is a comforting reflex for the baby. So win-win, both of them win. So sucking is comfortable for the baby, and that gives a sense of fulfillment for the dad.
We'll take one last question, sir. Somebody's asking that, the father's way of communicating with the child definitely plays a bigger role. But what about father's way of communicating with the mother? Does that also play a role in the child's emotional development?
Exactly. 100% true. It is not just communicating with the child. First and foremost, person whom you should communicate well is with your partner, with your wife. When that communication is right, then everything goes in the right way. It is not right saying I'm communicating with the baby and it's not, not communicating with the mother properly. That's not the right way. It should be a team effort. It should be co-parenting. Both of you should have a very nice understanding, very good parenting styles. You should share your roles. I do this, you do that, you take rest now, I'll take care of the baby. You communicate with the mother first and then the baby. No, when you communicate with the mother, automatically the communication with the baby becomes better.
Right. I think this was a very helpful session. We all talk about the baby, the mother all the time, but talking about the father, their role, and the emotions that they also go through was very important. So, thank you so much, Dr. Krishnaswamy. It was really good to have you on board with us and to hear the perspective from the father's side and how they can be helpful. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So, just like that, we have reached the end of the bump celebrations. Today, we covered the first 10 days and everything that a mother needs to know about eating right during pregnancy. We learned about clot diaper basics, and we also learned about the father's role. Now, there is one very important thing that we all need to remember, that raising a child takes a village. It is not responsibility of just the parent. So remember that you don't have to figure out parenting alone. There are experts to guide you, there are other parents you can learn from, and there is a whole support system around you. And that is the whole point of doing bump celebrations. We also have the WhatsApp group, the community, where there are hundreds of people like you who are going through the same kind of emotions and phase like you. So make sure that you join the community and become a part of all the discussions, the expert sessions. The link is there in the chat. Uh, just to remind you all that the giveaway winners will be chosen from the sheet, from the form that you have filled. We'll be announcing the winners on the WhatsApp communities around 25th to 26th of this month. We'll be announcing. So make sure that you are there on the WhatsApp group. If you have won something today, which I'll be announcing, if you are the winner of the fastest finger first, I'll announce the names of the winner. Right. So we have three winners. We have Nupur, we have Bijal Chauhan, and we have Ayman Parveen. Congratulations to all three of you. You are the winners of Fastest Finger First. Our team will get in touch with you to take your details, to send you the gifts that you have very rightly earned with the fun activities that we had. I hope all of you had fun. At SuperBottoms, we always try to make sure that the journey is not just about diapering, but also about parenting. And we try to bring you all the conversations, resources, and a lot of surprises that can help you with this journey. I hope you all were able to learn something new today. With this, we'll be signing off. Thank you, everyone, for spending your afternoon with us with the bump celebrations. Every mom to be, dad to be here today, this is just your reminder that you got this. Okay, there is there is a lot of support available. You can avail, and you should avail that, and keep celebrating your pregnancy. Stop worrying, like there are a lot of questions which will come to your mind, but make sure that every small thing that happens in this journey, which will become a memory someday, you all enjoy this. Thank you for being with us. Keep asking questions to us, keep bothering us on our customer care number, and we'll stay in touch through the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in.